All right, gang, welcome back. 6-liter LS 4L80 transmission. I got a few things to do here before we try and fit this into the Mercedes. I've got these transmission fittings that are poking out. Got to put some banjo fittings on these. I've got some brackets I got to zip off real quick. I'm going to bring you in on that, but we're going to make progress. And today, I want to try and fit this in the Mercedes and see what we got for room. Nobody else has done this for you. I have not found anybody showing how they fit an LS in that tiny car. But we're doing it, and I'm hoping we're doing it today. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good day. All right, back on the tripod. I am behind the camera. Okay, so 4L80, right? I did some research. 4L60 wasn't going to cut it if I wanted to go to 6.0 LS, right? So I looked around. I found this place down in New Hampshire. I'm going to put their information in the description. But since we have the 4L80, right, we also have all the GM brackets for, the fuel lines, whatnot. I'm going to zip all this off, and I'm going to make sure that these still hold in the sensor. Let's see if I can get in close on that. Yeah, see this giant bracket? It's got a bracket sticking off your fuel lines. It's going to be fuel lines, maybe brake lines. I don't know. They said it came out of a van. I said, very good. I will take the 6.0 and the 4L80 together. So we got another bracket right here. I'm going to zip that off. I got the grinder. We're going to do that. Let me look at this a little bit. See, I was wondering about this too. Looks like we might need a shifter paw. No big deal. We'll find that. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man, can't get in there. But the shifter paw is on there. All right, so panning around. Okay, cable bracket right there. Like I said already, a little closer look at the fittings that stick out of the side of the 4L80. I am concerned about this. I'm concerned about this as well when I place the 4L80 in the tunnel. We're gonna do some prep for that as well. I do not have a dipstick. I think I'm gonna go flexible. So, like I was saying, and my dad, who always wants to remain off camera, we will go probably set this in the Mercedes, see if we can work with the motor mounts that we already have attached to the engine, and go from there. But I'm hoping today, I'm throwing the wheels and tires on the Mercedes, gonna roll it in here, hopefully, and then we're going to check fitment. But first, like I said, we got to prep the 4L80, all the brackets, all that stuff, because I want a smooth transition into the transmission tunnel. Shall we proceed? All right, let's see if we can get in there. Come down to the brackets. Okay, why is this? I got a loose tripod on the loose. Ooh, okay. I don't know what that means. I'm getting no tightening action. Nothing, Captain. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to go with that. Where is my eye protection, folks? Here we go. Here we go. Cool dude eye protection, I guess. Where's the grinder? Yes, we're in New England, so we call it the grinder. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I can get in there. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I don't want that grabbing the fabric. Yes, there is sound insulation underneath the Mercedes. Very nice. But right now, gotta get those brackets out of there so I don't hook nothing. Oh, look at this. Here is my fuel injector set. I'm gonna get that out of the way as well. Here we are, here we are, here we are. All right, let's take a look, see. Oh, that is a plastic bracket, my friends, but I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna try and rip this off real quick. Which will probably require, oh, nope, we're good. All right, I'll pull that off. I got some long reach for this. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's a bracket as well. And I'm not gonna cut that. I am not going to cut that. I think I'm gonna, oh man, what do I wanna do? Because I don't want this sticking up when I go to shove it in the transmission tunnel. Because like I said, I don't want it hooking anything in the tunnel. Because, you know, it's got that fabric soundproofing and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm thinking instead of cutting, I'm a case-by-case basis, but I think I'm going to beat this, probably tap it down with a hammer. Probably ain't going to break out the grinder because unless I can nah, I don't want to compromise that. You see the way that holds that sensor in there? Nah, I'm going to work with what I got. Yeah. All right, long reach pliers, folks. Long reach pliers. Got these old Snap-ons. My dad has done me a solid of sharpening the end of these and using them as snap ring pliers. But I cannot complain because that man, he reached into the engine compartment of the V-Dub and ripped the shield off with his bare hands off the header. Man's an animal. He is amazing, and that is my pops. All right, let me find a small bolting hammer. Let's see what we get. Let's just make it smooth so it doesn't hook on anything. See? Perfect. I'm gonna go here, do the same thing. Let's see if we can make it wrap around the case a little bit. Nice. I'm just using my smallest ball peen hammer with the rounded end. There we go, just tap it in there. See? Hitting the case a little bit, nothing crazy. I'm just really just tapping in there. So when we put it in the tunnel, right? And we need like max room. This isn't gonna stick up and hook on anything. I'm really worried about this sucker right here though. Maybe I put like something rubber on it. Maybe I can get, you know, the rubber hose obviously is supposed to go on there. I know that. But maybe I'll have to find a hose to hang it over the side or whatnot. See, and I was wrong. See, I got the shifter pole. I don't know what I was thinking. I got the cable cut. Everything is right here. They did me a solid. I have the electronics. I'm just really excited today because I want to see this fit in. You know what I'm saying? All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm taking a look-see at these fittings for the cooler lines that come out of the 4L80. I got right angle fittings off Amazon. I'm gonna grab those right now. Taking a look at this, I'll also find which wrench I need. All right, so like I was saying, crossing my fingers. Here's the right angle fittings for the 4L80 transmission. Want to reach inside. Ooh, you know what? I'm not to pay attention to these, the way they come out, because there is a long bolt and a short bolt. And I'm hoping, yeah, when I put the fittings on there, they're gonna stick out a little bit, but I'm really hoping it doesn't grab the tunnel too much. I really can't wait to see when we pull the car. All right, 19 millimeter on these fittings. They are tight as tight can be. I will probably put a 19 on my breaker bar and try to bust those loose. Don't you hate that? You know you just dropped off a ratcheting breaker bar and you can't find it. But you know what I'm gonna use? It's my favorite 1/2-inch ratchet. Extendable. Harbor Freight. Well worth the cash. 19 mil. Let's hit it. I'll extend for maximum torque, right? Bang! Just a little slap, and we are making progress. Yeah, just like that. All right, time to get some gloves. I work a desk job, gotta wear gloves. Well, besides that, you don't want crap all over your hands. Take my word for it. Take my word for it. Oh. I mean, I guess it depends on where you live. This is kind of an industrial / farm town, you know. Maybe you want to show off that you got your hands dirty. I guess that would be pretty American, just like the John Mellencamp song. Greasy hands, greasy hair. Ooh. Now see, that felt like that had some Loctite involved there. Huh. Is clean inside. I mean, the outside looks like crap. Because this is the Northeast and they salt everything. Food and road, baby. Right? My fingers aren't strong enough. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise. Check that out. Okay, remember how I said there was a short and a long? We got the long, took out the short. Now I gotta get my banjo fittings ready. Turn, turn, turn. All right. Let's dump out the fittings, y'all. Okay. Long, short. Gasket, gasket. Gasket, gasket. Bam. Banjo fittings. Nice. All right. So, I know I say that a lot. It's just something we do. My friends and I are at work. All right, so 2 different gaskets. We got a larger gasket that goes on the banjo bolt. We have the actual banjo fitting. And then, nice tight fit, right? We've got the lower seal, okay? And remember, this goes in the back part, the long part. So we've got that one assembled. Large washer. Banjo fitting. And small washer. Then I'm going to hand thread them, see how that feels. Then we go from there. If there's any weird angles, I apologize. My $30 Walmart tripod is just something new every day. I tell you what. There we go. That threads in nice. That is the rear fitting. Looking good. I'm going to angle this down, I think, because I don't want any debris getting into it. You know, my last name's Davis, so I can talk like that, which actually comes from Davies, which is British. It's British. Wow, look at this. What in the world, dude? I don't even know if I can get this thing in the trans tunnel. Look at how far this thing sticks out. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll have to do a fly through with the camera. You guys are going to actually get to see more than I do. When they tell you about the width of the 4L80 up top, don't believe it. You got 2 fittings that stick out a dang mile on this side. You got 2 brackets for these sensors that stick out a mile on that side. This is going to be an adventure, okay? Okay, status report, Noontown. Manifolds are off. A lot of accessories are off. We've put our banjo bolts on the 4L80E. I've got everything staged. Now what I have to do is get the car around the dang corner and nose in. And they call me crazy. Hauled it right off of behind Pop's truck, right to the middle of the driveway. Now all I gotta do is back it around and push it into the middle bay. For real though, non-running car, pushing around a dirt driveway, so much fun. But we got her lined up. Pretty soon we'll have the front end in the air and we'll see what it looks like. All right, here we are, folks. Test fit. 6 liter does fit under the hood. I have tried the truck intake here with the attitude of the assembly right now. It will not fit under the hood, and the length of the throttle body creates a hood clearance issue. Looking at the tunnel, we are not bad off at all. Big caveat. big caveat to this swap. Remember, this is the all-wheel drive subframe. I'll get you in there. You have to cut the back of the subframe. There's no way around that. No way around it. So we cut the rear subframe member out. We're gonna put in like a U channel that comes across, welded in. So we got a rigidity back on that. It goes underneath the 4L80 bell housing. Coming up front here, I don't know if I really should be concerned. I've got a good another 5 inches off the radiator mounts from stock. This is the bumper. So basically I have all this distance from the front of this to, you know, the bumper support bows out like that. So we should be good with radiator. I do want to retain air conditioning. The only thing to figure out is where are your accessories going to go. We've got air conditioning, and Mercedes power steering pump goes right here under this V. Over here, Mercedes alternator goes under this side of the V, and it all has to line up on this pulley. Unknown whether we're going to keep this setup. Honestly, who would want to keep a water pump with 130,000 miles on it? Probably not a good idea. We shall see. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is just set in there for mock-up right now. There's more cross member to cut over here to make wider, so this is actually sitting the way that it should. I know it's cockeyed to the driver's side right now. So when we get that all evened out, we'll set it back down. Transmission actually sits underneath the tunnel. This is insane how much clearance is back here. And I think we can get more clearance when we take the notch out of this subframe down here, which will give me a lot more in the front as well. All right, stay tuned. Got to do something with drive shaft, got to do something for a shifter, and then get the electronics and radiator figured out, along with the motor mounts that look like they have to be like a half-mile wide. I just remember working on the Mercedes engine, and you could barely get your hand in here. And you look at the LS, this is a 6-liter LS with almost 400 horsepower, and you can fit like a whole hand. Maybe not on this side, because I think that the engine bay, or it might be just the attitude of the engine, but it's crazy how much more room there is. Except in the front. The LS is longer. This is a truck motor. The accessory drive that comes with the truck is like 8 inches long, 8 inches deep, shall we say. And then this balancer right here, she sticks out about 4 inches. So I know there's different balancers out there. We might have to go that way, especially if I'm getting like a new water pump. But yeah, once we get it all situated, I'll get back with you.